This is what I think about this. And so I was a little nervous last time, okay? And this time when I saw faces some of whom have received prizes from me and so on and so forth. It was like coming back home. First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm very honored. And yeah, every time I say thank you, just clap. That's a cue for you to clap, okay? Menon was telling me that today's subject is about time management. Did she tell you that?
Yes, sir.
How many of you wear watches here? Alright, just put your hands down. I'm not asking those of you who don't wear watches to put your hands up, but pester your parents today to buy you a good watch. The first step in time management is time awareness. Do you understand what that means? What does that mean? I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because I know most of you have had your lunches, so this is a nice time to sit. In school you practice the art of sleeping with your eyes open. Are you listening? Yes ma'am, yes, listening. Luckily for me, most of my teachers never asked me what I was listening to. What is time awareness? Go for it. I mean, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. I'm just testing your level of understanding so that I can talk a language which you understand. What's the point in me coming here and talking to you about something which makes me feel very good? You know, I feel damn good that I talked something to you guys and then I went back and I'm, oh, Bobby, you did a fantastic job. Now nobody understood you. What's the big deal about that? What is time awareness? Go for it. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
According to me, respect for time.
Sit down. Quickly. Yes, ma'am.
Know the value of time.
Value of time. Respect time. Who else? Yeah.
Being aware of how much time you're spending on anything.
Good. Awareness, knowing how much you spend. Yes, ma'am. You've got some answers on your lips. You glasses. No? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. But what is time awareness? How do you manage something? If you're not, let's say this is something precious, alright? If I don't know, if I'm not aware of the fact that this is precious, how am I going to manage this? Okay, value, yeah.
Know how to use time.
Knowing how to use time. In my opinion, being awareness of time is the most critical knowledge that you can acquire in your lifetime. If you know exactly where you are at a particular time, then most of you would have studied in maths, time and distance. You studied time and distance, haven't you? You're in Mysore right now, you're sitting in a car, you're going to Coimbatore, or going to Mysore, or going to Kood, okay? And you know how much time you're going to be sitting in that car if you know the distance, you can calculate, right? Right or not?
Yes, sir.
The point I'm trying to make is that if you're not aware of how important time is, you never value it. Anybody that you take in your life, anybody, be it Mozart, be it A.R. Rahman, be it Sachin Tendulkar, be it a rocket scientist like Abdul Kalam, be it anybody, they are great today because they valued each and every minute that they had, they considered it precious, they were aware of the time that they had in their hands. You're sitting in now the 9th standard, you're going into the 10th standard, some of you are the 10th standard, correct? 9th and 10th, right? What is going to be the bulk of your focus in the 9th and 10th? One person said movies, who's that? Somebody said movie, who's that? Everybody's looking at each other, was it you? Was it? No, there's no movie, there's just standing, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do movies, alright? But if you know the value of time, if you're aware of... That's me, okay? I'm just trying to test you guys. You're awake. So, if you know the awareness of time, if you know the value, some of you use the word value, some of you use one girl that she said, how do you manage time? Then what you do is that the bulk of your time, because you know how precious it is, will be focused on what? The bulk of your time would be focused on what? Yeah. How many of you do that? Come on. All you guys are studying. Everybody is so focused, so nice kids. Wow. I'm impressed. Nobody has parents telling you, please study. What are you doing? That one honest guy. The guy who nodded. Stand up. Yeah. Sit down. Everybody saw you. You're the villain of the pack. So what I'm trying to make is that do not let anyone come and tell you what to do. Alright? If you know the value of something, exhibit it time and again. Understand that at this particular point of time in your life, you are laying a foundation for the rest of your life. And so, what did we speak about today? Time. Wear a watch. Why do you wear a watch? It's not to flaunt 18 different functions it's got, some small games it's got. It's not that. It's just a basic watch to tell you the time, perhaps even an alarm to set you awake in the mornings, so much so that you get into the habit of waking up at a particular hour. Time is very, very, very important. Anything natural that you see in the world today, look at the first thing that most people see in a day. The sun rises at a particular time, sets at a particular time. The seasons arrive at a particular time, disappear at a particular time. Fruits appear at a certain time, disappear at a certain time. We are the only mammals in the world who abuse time. 99% of people, if you tell them that 9 o'clock you have to be here in school, you'll wake up at 8 o'clock. Oh, I gotta go to school, I gotta go to school. As if you don't know on Monday you have to go to school. So time is equal to discipline. You might think that's a very bad word, but the secret of winning is how disciplined you can be. And discipline on its own is nothing if you do not know how valuable time is. I'll try and use the word management in time very, very little today, because once you know what is valuable, you will learn to manage it yourself. You don't need an external device, you don't need an app, you don't need anything to manage time. So I'll try and use the word management as little as possible. I'm going to use words like value, principles, philosophies and stuff like that with you guys, hoping that you will understand the importance of time. And so the bottom line of my talk with you today is to try and emphasize with you guys and girls and ladies and gents. Hi. Okay? The importance of time. Do you have any heroes that you look up to? Anybody that you look up to? Anybody? Yes, ma'am. Who's that? Oh, you. Okay.
Sir, I look up to a footballer.
Who?
Footballer.
Who's a footballer?
Cat Bale.
Who's he?
Music great.
Why would you look up at him?
He's awesome.
He's taller than you.
No. He's awesome.
Why is he awesome?
I don't know, it says football right now.
Okay. So why is he awesome? What sticks in your mind? I mean, you don't look at somebody and say, "Oh man, you're awesome." I mean,
He's really successful right now.
what is successful? I'm trying to drill down to that one thing that makes you say somebody is spectacular. And I want to know why you think that person is spectacular. It's not that you don't know, you do know. Maybe he's successful as a footballer, fine. What is football all about? No. What is football all about? Pardon? Come on, think. Teamwork, okay. What else? Go ahead. Another. What's the point in scoring goals if you don't get the ball on time? Pardon? You're getting close to it. Yeah, sit down, don't worry. Okay. Yeah, what else? What else is fantastic about football? Athleticism, all that's a given, okay?
Players pass the ball to each other from time to time.
From time to time, okay. Accuracy of time.
And completing a task within a given time.
Completing a class within a given time. Timing. Precisely. How many times did you use the word time? What are we talking about? Football is all about timing, my friends. Did you get it? Any sport that you look into today is about timing. If you're a cricketer and you're facing a pace ball, if you lift your ball even before the fellow releases his ball, you might as well say goodbye. Correct? What is a sweet shot? A sweet shot is the correct time that a bat takes to travel from a tap down position to meet the ball in space at a particular time and whack it out of the park. That is timing. You hear the word in commentary, you hear the word sweet spot. It's timing. It's perfect timing. So you probably look up at this footballer because every time he gets the ball, he's got his timing of ball traveling in the air, leg up in the air, hit, and it's a goal. In fact, one of the things that amazes me about European football and English football is the manner in which they play. You see one guy traveling down the pitch from one side, and there's another guy bringing the ball from another side, and they meet. They don't meet at all. The ball meets the player. Anything else? Anybody else who looks up at somebody else? Do you have any heroes? Little man in a suit, little smart man. What about you? You got a hero? Yeah.
Sir.
Don't tell me it's Tarzan. In fact, Tarzan is also all about timing. He jumps hoping that branch will hold. If it doesn't, he doesn't say, ow! He doesn't say that, he says, ouch. He falls down, right? But who's your hero? All the little men are at the front. I like that. Who's your hero? If you don't have one, sit down. Don't worry. It's not a crime. Who's yours? Huh? Wow, this guy floored me. He said me. Give him a clap. Whoa, I'm good, man. Thank you so much. But don't become like me, okay? Like I told you, family pack and all that. I had an argument just the other day with a friend of mine who said, okay, I think you got to lose some weight. I said, no. You look at another photograph called Salman Khan and you admire him. The amount of money Salman Khan spends in the gym and the amount of money I spend on food is the same. And I don't feel guilty. He feels damn guilty. He's got a great body, but he's looking at idli and drooling. I don't drool at anything, man. If I want to eat, I go and eat. If I don't want to eat, I don't eat. It's as simple as that. So, Good. Anybody else? Got any serious heroes? Yes? Yes, girls. The reason why I asked you is it's not a crime not to have an ideal or a role model or a mentor or anything. Is that I would like to request you today. The first request I already made, those of you who don't wear watches, start wearing watches. Inculcate it as a lifelong habit to be honorable to time. First we talked about awareness of time. Now I'm talking to you about something else, which is being honorable to time. Those who honor time, time honors in return. Those who don't honor time, time doesn't honor. Okay? So the reason why I said have a mentor, have a role model is because whether you take a PT Usha or you take someone else or Sachin Tendulkar and you don't look at the surface of his success and say, okay, he's a great batsman. No, it's not that. There are philosophies which they adhere to, which they don't swerve away from. Success is no fluke. If somebody was to teach you that, oh, you stand under this tree every day for 4 hours, no, you get good luck comes from that tree. Don't listen to that. But if somebody will tell you private life, whether it's in business life, whether it's in public life, whether it's in anything, you'll see that an adherence to good timekeeping is success. Slowly, what will happen is that you will develop what I call good time sense. Do you know what time sense is? It's not something that you may have heard about this word, but I know that you know. I have this nice line called I know that you know that I know. What is good time sense? Think and answer. There's no right answer. Like I said, in this session, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. What is good time sense? Yeah, go ahead.
Being punctual.
Good. What else is good time sense? Teachers, you're also invited. Okay? I'll try to make this as spicy as possible for you. I know I saw some of you having lunch. So I'll try to make this as... You're sitting nicely by the window, nice breeze coming by. Now you can experience what open eye sleeping is all about. Don't worry, I tend to blabber from time to time, doesn't matter. What is good time sense? Yes. That's what he said in English. Yeah.
Knowing not to waste time.
Good. Very good. Yeah.
Doing something productive and time.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah.
Spending the right amounts of time for various activities.
Excellent. Any more? Any more? As you go around this class again and again and again, you get many more explanations. This highlights a little about what I said earlier. It's not that you don't know. It's not that you do not know time management. It is not that you don't know time is valuable. It is not that you don't know that the fact that time is precious. You do not. It's not that you don't know. It's a question of whether you practice good timekeeping or not. It is a question of whether you can go to your father, to your mother, to your teachers, to your friends and say, I honor time. How many of you did what I asked you guys to do? Most of you who were here. I so and so. How many stickers came up on your beds? Oh, wow. Okay, for the benefit of those who didn't do it, alright? Last week,
It's the 19th of March.
to be very precise, as Meenala says. On the 19th of March, I was here, and one of the things that I requested was, if you have a dream, if you think that you're a doctor, if you think you're a dancer, if you think you're a musician, if you think you're anything, it doesn't matter what, but if you feel very strongly about it, Go to your father or to your mother, who owns the computer at home, take a small printout. I put your name, doctor. Put it on top of your bed. Every day, see it. Don't lose sight of your dreams. So today I've asked you to do two things. What's the first thing? What? And then? What? That, for those of you who didn't do it last time, right? So it's not that you don't know, it is a question of whether you practice good timekeeping, good time management. How many of you here actually say, I'm going to study from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock and stick to it? Honestly, be honest. I mean, this is not about who's a good boy, who's a bad boy. This is not about that. This is, I want you, see, the thing with me is that I want you to understand a little bit, put your hand up. I want you to understand a little bit about, I'm not trying to put you in a bad light here, or I'm not trying to put you in a, oh, you don't know this, so you're there. I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying, I'm giving you a few principles which you can adopt very, very easily. It's not as difficult as getting, Arnold Schwarzenegger like muscles or anything of that sort. It's very easy to do things. Now, the thing is, when you go and tell your father, your mother or anything that I am going to my friend's house and I'll be back at 7, how many of you honor time and come back at 7 and rather than waiting for, Srinath, where are you? Where are you? Your mother knows you're in the friend's house. Where are you? What she means is, you're not here. Today, you're adults. You have to understand that. You're adults. If you want to be treated properly, if you want to be treated with respect, please understand that it's not about what you scream. Amma, you're a nut, ma. You don't know nothing. You scream all the time. She screams because she's concerned that you may not know. So if you're serious about timekeeping, if you're serious about honoring time, if you're very, very serious, please make commitments which you will honor. When you say you're going to your friend's house and I'll be back at 7 o'clock, 6:50, be back. Don't make Amma call, don't make Appa call, don't make Nani call, don't make nothing else. Okay? Okay? Nobody's saying okay to this. So difficult to do. How many of you wake up at a particular hour every morning? Otherwise the bus will leave, isn't it? How many of you study before you leave for school? Put your hands down. Put your hands down. Why don't you practice studying in the morning? Yeah.
I have various other activities that I would like to do before I come to school.
Like what? Having a bath, for instance?
That's a daily routine. Something like I practice violin, so I go to violin class in the morning, and alternately I go swimming as well.
I'm glad I'm not your neighbor. Practicing violin in the morning? Wow. Okay, what else do you do?
And I go swimming like 3 days and 3 days. Sunday I go.
Okay, fine. As long as my point is this. My point is I'm not this tough nut who says that you've got to study and study till you go pray like me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that as long as you're not whiling away your time. What's whiling away? How many of us waste time? I do. I watch television every night. See, this is honesty. This is honesty. Put your hands down. The teachers are also seeing. So you can't really now say in front of your teachers, ma'am, I really didn't have any time to do homework because we see all of you guys put your hands down. Wasted time. All of you waste time, your time wasted. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're lagging behind in school, if you're lagging behind in marks, if you're a B grader, if you want to move to A plus, remember you have to manage your time. Okay? And that's the first time I use the word manage. You have to manage your time beautifully. You have to manage your time without supervision. Because the moment you let mama call you up in the morning, she thinks you're still mama's little girl or little boy, and that's it. So you can't stop your mother from complaining to you, oh, you don't do this, you don't do this, because you don't exhibit individually that you are competent of managing your time. I like this silence. Are you thinking or are you listening to that sound like I was? Do you know what that sound is? Cricket. I thought it was a game. That's a cricket. That's something that needs time management classes. That's not supposed to be making that sound now. It's supposed to be making it after evening when you're kind of silent. So we talked about what? Awareness. Okay? I want to go back to that. Really go back to that. I want you to, most of you are carrying notebooks, I want you to make some notes today. I want you to think about it, and the next time we meet, I want you to talk and I listen. Alright? Yeah, I'm sure most of you are saying, yeah, Bobby's going boring now. Yeah. This is what we do every day, take notes. Now awareness of time. If you can, after you're done with your notes taking, I want you to spend some time, the time that you waste, not your time that you're studying. Now all of you have admitted that you waste time. Out of that time you waste, take some time from that. Okay? Okay? And do this assignment for me, and you can submit it to Manila or your class teachers or whatever on this. Okay? And I don't want any internet cut, paste and copy. I don't want, if I know it, if I see it, I know it, that it's internet cut, paste and copy. I don't want that. I want your individual opinions on what we discussed today, what you are going to do to improve it, what is going to be your commitment. My commitment is to come here and wake you up and say, hey, there's something called time management. Okay? Okay? Hello, good morning. Are we here? You. No, you. Are you here? So, awareness, time awareness. You can put that flower down, it won't run away. Put it down. He's holding on to this. Bobby said, I love you, man. And then what did we talk about? I said, don't use the word time management. Time management is not a word. It's a combination of several things coming together. Awareness of time. What else did we talk about? Honoring time. Honoring time. What? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, right? Whatever you think you heard to say, if you put in a couple of additional points and say that this is also what Bobby said, be it, so be it. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to come and question you and say, why did you put this against my name? This is your own thinking. I'm not going to say that, okay? What else? What else did we talk about? Good. Put it down. Good timing. Okay. Sense of time. Okay. Good. Put it down. What else did we talk about?
Punctuality.
Did we talk about punctuality?
Yes.
Fine. I mean,
Why we look up to our role models?
why we look up because it's like you know, footballers taller than me. When you're done with your notes, then close it and we'll take notes again. Okay? Whatever you think we heard today, that you heard, this one. If you're done, close the book. And that's it. I'm not here to lecture you and then you take notes. And what I want you to do with it is spend some time, because it's easy. Somebody comes, talks to you, says some things to you and goes away and you don't remember anything. This is for you. This hour is for you. This time is for you. If you make use of it, fine. It should be reflected, not. But when you're married, when you have 2 kids and 3 kids and 4 kids and all of that, no. It should be reflected tomorrow. It should be reflected today evening. What are you going to do now that you've heard? What are you hearing? This is knowledge. What do you do with knowledge? You take it with both hands. You receive it like a gift with both hands, and then you take ownership of it, complete it, and say, I will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 principles of this and apply it to my own life. You make a timetable when you go home, a personal timetable. Like he said, I go on weekdays to practice the violin, I go swimming, whatever. Plan your day. Don't take this as a joke, but take it seriously and see the fruits of it yourself. Suddenly, this person who's been nagging you to death, do this, do that, do this, do that, come here, pick this up, do this. You suddenly see a new respect coming towards you. People who honor time honors, and others also honor. When your father or your mother says, get ready, we're going for a holiday, we're leaving at 9 o'clock, don't look at your father and say, my father is always late, don't worry. You be ready at 9. If your school calls you for a function and says 8:45, 8:35, you should be there. Whether the chief guest comes later or not, doesn't matter. You do your job. Start picking up these as life principles. It must be said of each and every one of you here in Kautilya that one of the best things about a Kautilya student is that they honor time. People should be scared of committing to you about time and say, oh, don't ask a Kautilya Vidyalaya student to be here. Sharp 9 o'clock they'll be here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So take this today and in God and Savita put together, we'll find somebody else to come and talk to you about something else. Don't sit here, listen, go away and do nothing about it. It's absolutely no fun listening to somebody and say, yeah, that guy came from Infosys, this fellow came from here, I listened to him, had a good 1 hour session, that's it. What did you learn? What did you use? What did you become? And the moment you do that, the moment you take somebody's advice and take ownership of that and say, me, what happens is that, now for me for example, somebody taught me the principle of timekeeping when I was 19 or 20 or maybe 22 or 23, I don't even remember now. Imagine if somebody had taught me timekeeping, the value of time when I was the 8th standard or 9th standard. That change, that little change is what's going to make the difference between making it or not making it. You have something what I call an edge. And believe me, in the years to come, when we're all, today, many people when they send an appointment to me, I have a smartphone, they send me a calendar. I was in Bombay 3-4 days ago, and they send me, this guy sent me this thing and says, okay. They sent me the calendar, and I'm there. Yesterday I was with the CEO in this company in Coimbatore. 9 o'clock in the morning was my meeting. He knew that day before yesterday I was in Mysore. And he expected me there to be there in his office. And at 8:43 he's asking me, are you coming today or not? I said, I'm in your lift. People will not take you seriously the minute you violate something known as good timekeeping. When you go abroad, the problem with this is this, it's become a national epidemic. When you go abroad, people actually say, Indian IST is equal to Indian stretchable time. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. But 5 minutes is actually 2 hours. I'll be there in 5 minutes. 5 minutes is 2 hours. So if you respect yourself, don't do this for me, don't do this for Kautilya, don't do this for Meenala. If you respect yourself, be proud to say that I am a good timekeeper. When I say 5 minutes, it will be there. When I tell my father and my mother that I am going to so-and-so's house to play and I'll be there for 5 minutes, come back in 5 minutes. Don't wait for that phone call. Where are you? Where are you? Because the next thing is that in front of you, most parents do this, my parents do this. This fellow is always late. Don't be ridiculed because you control that. How someone treats you is controlled by you, not by somebody else. So like most of you said today, how many of you have heard the word audit? A-U-D-I-T. Yeah, what's an audit? Yeah, you put your hands up.
An audit is basically, I'll just explain in general words. If there's like a huge company and there are like many transactions and they have a huge business and stuff like that, the people who actually audit their sales and like list out like how much the trade is, how much profit they got, and everything is listed out.
I'm still waiting for the meaning of the word audit. You fitted it in perfectly. I understand what you're saying. What is the meaning of the word audit?
Organize.
Pardon?
Organize.
Organize. No. We won't go around with this one, but it's measurement. Okay? You measure, you go home today, spend half an hour and measure the last 1 week how much time you whiled away. Don't let anybody come to you and pressurize you and say, you do it yourself. Okay? And if you want to do something to yourself which is known as self-improvement, then what you do is, this week, this coming week, starting Monday morning, you reduce the number of, I'm not saying start becoming a saint, please. I'm not saying, you shouldn't laugh. I'm not saying that all of you should. Why are you talking? No, Bobby said, no talking unnecessarily. Have fun, have a blast, make mistakes. You do whatever you want to do, okay? But be serious about where you're going. You can watch all the movies that come. You can watch whatever you want to watch. You can surf the net. Whatever is appealing to you, girls, guys, you want to go and eat pizza. Whatever is within your budgets, your family budgets, and whatever fun is for you as per your parents' diktats. You do all of that. But never forget your home. You are here today, you are in a good school. You have to realize something very, very important. That you are here because somebody, be your father, be your mother, somebody realizes that if I put this child in this school, this boy or girl will become something. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now the food is digesting in your stomach. I can see that. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who told you my name was sir? Why are you saying yes sir, yes sir? I'm actually looking at who you're talking to. Yes. Confidence comes from that. You have the freedom to call me Bobby if you want to, okay? Alright? I don't hear much of that.
Yes.
Yay! Fantastic! Come on, give him a clap. That's good. Because I am also a very, very ordinary man. I told you last time, I spoke to many of you some of you had gone right to exams and some of you are not here. I had a very ordinary life. I've had very many big challenges in front of me, but I've been fortunate. I'm not giving you gyan. Whatever I'm telling you is taken from my own life, when people have come and taught this very, very ordinary boys some extraordinary things. And the thing that I did was I listened because I knew that it was magic that brought this person in front of my life. And I knew, somehow I knew, that this moment is not going to come back again. And so I sat glued and I listened and I listened and I listened. When I was your age, I never even knew how to hold a fork and knife in my hand. I was 19 when I went abroad for the first time. I didn't know anything. And for the first time, I witnessed what time management is, time keeping is, when I first went and stood in front of a bus stand in London. And like we do here, what do we do when a bus comes? All of us rush like sheep, isn't it? Me. There are lines. And I didn't know this, so I stood to jump in front. I got cursed like it was fashionable to get cursed, you know. Everybody that knew. One fellow called me an idiot. Where are you from, you idiot? Oh, back of the line. So I said, and then Hari goes, go to my office. He said, you should have thought of it in the morning. You want to go to your office at 9 o'clock, you come and take the 8:30 bus. You should have woken up at 7:30 and come here by 8 o'clock. And I looked at that man very seriously. Time keeping, honoring time, valuing time is going to get you places. It is going to get your attention. Sometimes, you know, you have to go and do, let's say you have to go to join a new tuition class or maybe a new swimming class or maybe somewhere else. The excuse that most of us give is, I don't know the place, so I don't know. Do you know what I do? I go one day previously, check the route, take how much time is taken to reach that place, calculate, and be there before time. The person whom I am going to meet does not care whether I am from Mysore, whether I know the place. He's given me an appointment and I have to be there at that time. I honor time. I honor the man who is there. And in the course of the conversation, it appeared that, oh, I'm not from Mysore. And he said, you still found it? Yeah, I came here yesterday and checked the place. What's that? Break time, bell time, my talk is over time. So what are you going to do when you get back home today?
Ask my mom.
Ask your mom.
Get me a walk.
Oh, so your mom holds the purse, not your dad.
My dad.
Okay. Tell me what you guys are going to do. Today is Friday. You work tomorrow? I mean, do you study tomorrow? I mean, do you come to school tomorrow? Yeah? Tomorrow school day? Oh, okay. So what are you going to do? What are you scared of? Heights. You're scared of heights? Give me that fly, give it to her. I didn't understand that. I thought for a moment, I got carried away. I thought you were saying I'm taller than you, so therefore you're not scared. Why is your voice so small? Jeans. You wear jeans, it's so tight your voice becomes. What's your name? Apurva. So what were you going to say? You forgot. Wonderful. Give her a hand. That's a commitment. You know, I didn't ask her to do that. But I'm sure she's going to go and do it. I trust you guys implicitly that you will do something with what you heard today. Okay? Once you start putting a timetable, do you know what that does to you? The beauty, see, there are two things to this, okay? What I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you that before so that I don't tax your mind to working on what the hell is this guy talking about, alright? The main thing is that when you start valuing time, when you start honoring time, slowly it's like the Titanic turning. Why did the Titanic sink? Does anybody? Yes, sir.
It crashed into an iceberg.
Who?
The Titanic crashed into an iceberg.
Yeah? I thought it was a girl singing that crossed the... I saw the movie, you know. I thought she sang too much in the movie. That's why it sang. Yeah.
They did turn at the right time.
They did turn at the right time. Again, timing. They tried, but it was going too fast and they didn't have the time to turn. Don't become Titanics in your life. Most of the time that you make accidents is because your timing is wrong. You have fun throughout the year, you focus on all the wrong things throughout the year, and then when it is exam time, you start cramming. You can't do that all your life. Honor time, study. If you have to study, sit and study today. Sit and study today. Why am I always relating things to study? I mean, if you were with me yesterday, I would not have said study. I said work. Today, your basic existence is focused only on studies. It's not on cooking. It's not on sightseeing. It's not on having fun. It's on studies. It's on how you shape your minds. Isn't that what you're doing? Aren't you shaping your minds? So put one aspect of shaping your minds into your head on your time, like this, both hands together, and say, I will be a good time practitioner. Because the moment you start putting things down on paper, I'll do this, I'm going to Shyam's house, I'm going to Rosemary's house, I'm going to Michael's house, I'm going to Apurva's house, you suddenly see that your whole mind is timed. When you start timing things, you'll see something else very beautiful happening. You'll see that people are using the word discipline about you. You know something, this girl is very disciplined, she's like, fantastic. You'll start hearing positive feedback from teachers, your work is submitted on time, you are on time, your commitment. Suddenly you start seeing that your Titanic is turning in a different direction. It comes with honoring time. It's the most valuable thing in the entire universe. You can lose your backpack with all your books in it, and your father or your mother can come to school, meet Meela, meet your school teacher and say, you know what, yesterday the auto, That means when I was going to Mysore, auto, my son, he left his bag. Okay, so you get a new bag, you can copy whatever notes that you made, but you'll never get back the time that you spent writing it, putting it together. Treasure the time that you have in your hands now. None of us can get a single second back of our lives. But if you decide today, now, each and every one of you can decide what you can do with your life tomorrow. For that, you and you alone have to take control. Of what? You have to take control of your time. Your time. Each and every one of you have got an authority over your time. You understand what I'm saying? What is authority on time? What's the third reason? Sit down, sit down, sit down. Exactly. The control is in your hand. So coming back to those notes that you copied very quickly, I want you to, don't open your book. I want you to write a sheet, half a sheet, 4 lines, 10 lines, 20 lines, whatever you think is the relevance of today's talk that you had. Okay? You can submit it. You don't want to submit it, you don't submit it, that's up to you. But if you're taking it seriously, okay, just write down your action points. What are you going to do with the advice that you got today? And how are you going to implement it into your life? How many of you have personal timetables? Personal timetables, not school timetables. Okay, great. What do you do? Here.
I pick some particular amount of time, like 2 hours or 1.5 hours for studying or completing any pending work one day, and every day morning I have to take some sort of medication. So I create a particular timetable according to which I have to follow it, like until everything gets okay. Awesome.
So do you do a mental timetable or do you do a kind of what? Do you an Excel sheet or something?
Mental timetable.
Put it down on paper. Okay? What happens is that the mind tends to forget. The mind tends to forget. Last time I told you, last time I told you, some of you who were here, how many of you were last time here? Oh, most of you were here. I thought half the class was not here. Put your hands down. Last time I told you that many of the stories, the childhood stories that we've heard, including the one about Aladdin. Okay? What did I tell you? What? Your wish is my command. That's how the brain operates. You command the brain to operate in a certain fashion, and that's exactly what it will do. Only your thoughts become things. If you program your mind, it's the most programmable device in the human space in this universe today. If you program your mind to say that I am a timely person, and that's how the brain behaves, and suddenly you'll see that if you set the alarm for, how many of you have set the alarm for 6 o'clock in the morning and woken up before? Nobody. Good. Why do you think that happened? Good. Why do you think that happened? You have spoken today.
Tension in my mind.
Tension?
To complete work.
Is that why you wake up earlier than the alarm? Oh, okay.
Sometimes when I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir,
What's your name?
Rahul.
Huh? Rahul. Guys, remember Rahul, okay? He's a deadly guy. How many of you think Rahul is a deadly guy? Not very many.
Well, sir, when I set the alarm for 6 o'clock, sometimes I wake up at around 5:30 or something, but then I can't sleep when I wake up. I wake up, but I don't actually wake up.
Okay. Now the reason why that happens is, if you look at it from a psychological point of view, is that there are two minds. You all know that we have two minds? What's that? That's what you studied. You have a left brain and a right brain, right? I'm talking about a different thing. Okay? I'm talking about a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Okay? The conscious mind you all have control over. Okay? But the subconscious mind, we are not taught in this universe to program. There is no device that we all know how to program the subconscious mind. So what happens is that, for example, if you're afraid, how many of you have been awake the whole night because you're afraid? Yeah? What? Go ahead. Why? What scared you? She's looking at you being like teacher.
No, ma'am.
She's looking directly at you. That line I can see. That's it. A responsible person. Yeah. Talk out loudly, child. Exams, they petrify you. Why? Why? Talk. Why are you so scared of math? teachers here?
Yes.
Who's the maths teacher? Oh. She has Diwali and all coming, just make sure that she gets sweets and, generally sweet towards you. But that keeps you awake at night? Wow. Sit down. That's not her conscious mind, that's a subconscious mind that creates the fear. And in similar fashion, if you program your mind and say very consciously that I have to wake up at 6, you will catch yourself waking up at 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then switching off the alarm even before it rings. Okay? So the point I'm trying to make is that your mind is extremely programmable. The question is, what are you putting inside to program it? And time keeping and time honoring is a programmable aspect of your daily life. Who eats breakfast at 7 o'clock in the evening? I heard that nice quack. Who made that sound? I like your honesty too. Who eats breakfast at 7 in the evening? Why not? Why not? Huh?
That's the time I have. It has a particular time.
I love you, I'm really getting like you. That's because, you're holding my flowers and all that. There is a particular time to eat a particular meal. In similar fashion, there is a particular time to do a particular thing. If you study in the morning, according to the Upanishads and the Vedas, and the man is making the sound there. It's called Brahma Muhurta. It's when Lord Brahma wakes up. Imagine Lord Brahma waking up. I always used to ask my grandmother funny questions like, did Rama wear a pajama? What about Sita Devi in the forest? Did she have mosquito coil? They say that Sita was actually, imprisoned by Ravana in Lanka. So my first question was what? In this big palace, he did have air conditioning or what? So do you ask funny questions? Yeah? What do you ask? I asked, the last funniest question that I asked my mother was, she put some food on my table and then I said, is there anything better to eat? So that's the end of it. How many of you have done that? Wow. See, I got friends in Kautilya. Sit down, put your hands down, put your hands down. So like I was telling you, if you start adapting these principles into your life, you will see certain changes. Trust me, unless you have principles, I'm going to talk to you about this. One more, he doesn't like me. One aspect, we'll continue this conversation a little later. I want to talk to you guys more about principles of life, of living. Okay? Why principles are the pillars of our life. Why, you see this hall today? How many pillars are there? One. You got to go back to kindergarten. Exactly. These are beams. Those are pillars. The vertical ones are the pillars. Okay? You should have pillars as philosophies in your life, and one of the biggest pillars that you can ever have is how you manage that. Okay? Okay? What are you going to do? Ah, man, love you, man. You got a lot of aggression in you. What are you? You play cricket? You know? You play what? Tennis. Hit the ball hard. Where you play for the school, you play for the school. Since you play tennis, okay, it's one of my favorite sports. But unlike you, I just love to watch. fact, a few years ago, I used to go to this temple. Sit down. I used to go to this temple which is on a mountain. It's called Shabrimala. And then suddenly television came home. So now every year I sit at home and watch Shabrimala. There's no trekking involved. There's no climbing barefoot involved. You can sit in the luxury of your living room and watch. So I watch tennis. Like I said a little earlier about football, tennis is another great sport where it's all about timing. So if you look at various aspects like this, you'll see that timing. Fantastic, amazing things, so that when somebody clicks on it and says, "Wow, man, Kautilya student has come as a friend," now they won't look at this idiot. Hi, Mom. Yeah.
That type of image, of us is fixed in there.
Salute, so now, what a fantastic thing. Your image gets defined because you do not keep time or you do keep time. What else is?
Creates a bad impression of us.
I just love this girl. Oh, which class are you in? 9. She comes in very slowly and she throws some stunning things at her. I just love it. Image. Fantastic. What is the image that you have? Huh? Good impression. Who said? Sit down. Anybody else here? The sleeping audience. And my beautiful sleeping audience. Not you, tennis player. You are not sleeping. There's a guy sitting behind you. He's like covering his face behind you and he's sleeping. Not you, the one behind you. Not you, the one behind you. Everybody is asking me. Yeah, go ahead.
If we're going for an interview or something like that, the interviewer, maybe you're the best, you have all the qualities that they require for the company and everything, but if you come late, they're going to think twice before they appoint you because they don't know whether you're going to be productive or not.
Sit down. Beautiful. Time is equal to productivity. Brilliant. Now you can understand where we are taking this conversation. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Ask yourself in reverse, in retrospect. Am I productive? Am I respectable? Am I credible? Am I dependable? What else? Somebody else put their hand up here. Yeah.
They'll take him granted.
They'll take him for granted. Yeah.
First impression is last.
First impression is last. That's why you're sitting in the last row. First impression is lost. What is the first impression? You already come late. What is the first impression?
That is the first impression. When you enter,
Okay.
he's late, so the first impression is lost.
You mean the first impression should be the best impression and that is lost?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to speak in English. No, I don't understand French, man. Yeah. What about you? What's your name? What? Ritvik. Okay, it's a beautiful name. I've never heard it before. Sit down. Anybody else? Yeah.
And reputation gets distorted.
Reputation. That's a beautiful word. Reputation is central to integrity. Any brand that you look at in the world, do you know what they have as the central pillar? It's reputation. Imagine losing your reputation for something as simple as time. Is it worth it? Is it worth losing your reputation because you are a bad timekeeper? You're still thinking. Is it worth it?
No, sir.
Half the class says yes, half the class says no. Is it worth it?
No, sir.
Make a commitment starting today about what you are going to do with your time, how you are going to honor your time, how you are going to value your time, how you are going to commit to time, and please make empty promises. Don't do anything for the sake of doing. Just because Bobby came here and said, time management, push. You don't have to do all that. If you are convinced in your heart that you want to become the best, if you are convinced inside your soul that time keeping, time valuing, time honoring is indeed valuable to your reputation, please take this seriously. Alright?
Yes, sir.
So, what do you say? You're the man. You're the man who organizes the last time. You're the one who organizes. So why don't you come up here? Since I don't know any other. Yeah, you also come up. Come. Talk. Come. Yeah. What?
I want to keep my promise that
You talk, I'll drink.
first of all, the speaker are not a good speaker, and today I've got a chance to at least to share my views and experience of timekeeping. Like if you want to commit something before, I used to like say in my mind that I should do the things, but I used to keep the promise for just 2 days or 3 days, and by the fourth day, it used to fly away from my mind that just all it's common things. That's all right that I can do on some other day. And daily I used to promise my mother that like after I go to school, I'll wash my own dishes. But after some 3 days or 4 days, my mom used to say like you do your promise like a moon comes on the full moon day or it goes away on the no moon day. And now I heard you speaking that when you take a promise, you should fulfill it. And by your speech, I'm sure that my mother never gives me a recommend like that.
I have a question. Where are all your shoes?
Namaste to one and all. I'll take the instance for today itself. When this program was about to start, our HM had come and told us by this time you had to be in the dance hall. And in the lunch break we had to eat our food fast. So I ate my food and I was roaming around in the corridor. I enjoy roaming around in the corridor. And then afterwards I just saw my English book and I realized I made a lot of mistakes in my writing task. So I thought how to correct it. So I thought I'll go and ask my English teacher, that's Jennifer ma'am, what's wrong in my writing task? Where am I going wrong? And I went to her and I asked her and she cleared my doubts. And I realized that I was actually late for the program. And then I rushed, I ran in the corridor, I ran down and I came and I realized that I was the last person to enter this room and everyone had occupied a chair. And my reputation here is known as HM's daughter. And I never kept that. Even though my mother, I feel personally, is so meticulous. And I never was able to keep up that reputation that she has, that she's meticulous, she likes everything to be done in time, and she wants everyone to be disciplined. And I realized that I was the last person and I did not follow her words. I never came up to her reputation. And then Bobby sir told that you create a reputation and something like a small thing like time makes such a big difference in your reputation. I just realized that when I was sitting next to my friends and I was thinking I was late and I spoiled my reputation of my mother. So I'm thankful to you that you came today because I realized my mistake. And once I go home, I'm going to take a piece of paper and do what last time you told, that what you dream, you have to write it down on a paper and stick it. And I promise you, I will do it this time and I will make you proud, sir.
I think you should all give her a very big hand. The reason why I say so is that one of the most difficult things, there are many difficult things in the world. One is to lose weight. The other most difficult thing in the world is to be honest to oneself. And that too, I mean, she can go to home and tell her mother that mama, you know, and mama will give daughter a big gun. But to say that openly, that man is my enemy. To say that openly in front of all of you, in front of the mother, speaks volumes about this little girl's honesty. Okay? Like I said, one of the most toughest things in the world is to self-critique. It's not easy. You try this. You try this at home. This little girl, I think more than what you learned from me today. What's your name? Sumala Krishna. I know her surname. I know her father very well. I know her father very well. I know him for many years. Mr. Krishnamurthy. He's only a small prophet. He doesn't know him. I want all of you to give her a very big hand, okay? Do not clap, do not clap. Awesome. Go. Want to say something more?
Yes.
Yeah, go on. It's yours. Want to this also?
It's very rare that you are actually appreciated for your mistake, and I thank you, sir, because if today I am standing here and I have the courage to self-critique myself, it's only because of your speech. So I want everyone once to give a huge round of applause for Bobby, sir.
He's very smart. Let's give a big applause. Let's get this guy out of here, I'm not done. She's at 3:30, it's only 3:10. You go and sit near us. Enough. Honestly, hats off to you guys. Like I said, there's so much, there's so much that I can tell you about each and every one of you. That's why I said some of you, are stars. You're rock stars. You have no clue. You ask me privately, to tell you. I'll tell you things about each one of you that even you didn't. Okay, and I'm very, very touched, very, very touched that you came up and you spoke from your heart. Okay. So who else is going to come and say something? Don't, please, if you're going to come up and say that, oh, Bobby sir is the greatest, you can't make me 7 feet tall, okay? I am what I am. I don't want to hear that, okay? This is not about Bobby, and I want to know from you as to what you are going to do, so that when you say in front of your classmates, in front of your headmistress, in front of your class teachers, that you say that I am going to adhere to a certain principle. This is not a habit. Good timekeeping is not a habit. It's a principle. You know what a principle is? You're going to say, maybe Krishnamurthy. No, it's not. Okay? A principle is a practice. It's a good practice. I have a principle about not eating non-vegetarian food. Okay? That's a principle. That's a religious principle. I have a practice of, say, not eating on Thursdays and not eating non-veg on Fridays or not eating non-veg on Mondays. That's a principle. Okay? So I want to hear from some of you about that. But what you guys are going to do, okay? Less said about Bobby, the better. Alright? I'm not here to hear from you about your own praises about me. I've done enough of that, I've gone enough of that. Now it's time to give you guys what I've learned in all these years of living on this earth. And I hope that in the future, some of you will become great people, some of you will become fat people. And we'll have a lot to talk about. Okay? So who's going to come next? No, that's right. Come, don't be scared. What are you scared of? Come. He wants to talk. 1 second, huh? Come and say you look up to me and all that. Please, I have one person in the world who's shorter than me. Okay. He said he'll talk to me in person. I like it. Yeah, who else? Come. One second.
Frankly speaking, sir, I'm not a good timekeeper. Maybe I will be from now on, but generally I'm a horrible timekeeper. Like in the morning when I have to go to Bible class, I have to leave at 7:15 because it starts at 7:30. But I have to have my mom call me like 5 or 6 times before I even come down. So it's like, if mom's calling me, it's like, I can't hear you. So it's basically like that. So it's been a problem for me since the beginning. So today when my mom said, the topic's going to be time management, I was pretty excited because I would get a chance to, change myself. And the worst part of this is even at school, my teachers have to ask me to submit my notebook like 5 or 6 times before I have to do it. And every time I keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And then you know what my name is now? Tomorrow Vinarayan. So basically, now it's come to a stage.
What's tomorrow? It's not. Now you're NN. Knowledge. Not tomorrow.
So, now it's come to a stage where, nobody, has faith in me. Like that day I said, we were all appointed for a project and I was appointed the leader. I said, come on, I can do this, I can do that. I said, come on man, I know you're not going to do it. But that's what I want to change in myself. Like, in one project, I basically didn't do anything. But I supervised everyone, I was the leader, I have great leadership qualities. I'm not boasting myself, but, so I gave everybody what they had to do, but basically I didn't do anything. And then everybody wanted to put my name in the beginning. I said, no, I haven't done anything, put it in the end. So from next time, I want to do something in a group, right? I want to, be very constructive and be very productive. So I think I'm going to do that from next time. And basically what I'm going to do is, get a timetable, do something to, be a better timekeeper because I know it's, very essential if I want to, become what I want to become. So what I feel is that Mr. Bobby Menon here has, truly inspired me or motivated me to take up timekeeping, as an important part of my life. And for all the other horrible timekeepers like me, let's give Mr. Bobby Menon a huge round of applause.
Who else? Yeah, come. One second.
Very good afternoon to everyone here. So, to be frank, I'm enlightened by your speech today because
That's why you got light on your forehead. It's from there. Enlightenment is coming.
no, sir. To be frankly speaking, the daily routine of mine is like getting up in the morning at in the range between 7 to 7:30, or having to take some medication or something like that. Even in the smallest type of thing, I do everything 10 minutes early. And I've enlightened that I do every single thing, I do time management even in the smallest thing in my life, and I've got to know about it by a speech. Today, as soon as ma'am said that you are going to come, I ate half of my lunch within the snack break. And
Where's Ada?
in
I
my
had
stomach,
that lunch. You said you ate half your lunch. Where's Ada?
in my stomach.
Okay, where's the other half? You said you ate half. Where's the other half?
In my stomach.
So both are
Yeah, thanks. Other half I ate in lunch break. 10 minutes early I was in the corridor roaming around, waiting when will you come, when will you come. And I was standing at the entrance. My exit was at the entrance. When will you come, when will you come. I want to meet you personally. But later on, I had a conversation with one of my teachers and I got late. 10 minutes late this time. So, but another thing, I myself said that reputation will be distorted by not having good time management, and I've got that inspiration from my father. He has set up our shop in one locality, and he has spent 16 years to have faith is like faith in the people, that he can give the best medication in the people of that area. Like they are not like they are quite right. He has taken 16 years to build up that faith, build up that infrastructure of faith in those people. And I think of it every minute that how will I take that infrastructure much higher, like higher than the sky, if I can say, higher, like how I'm going to take that infrastructure higher, and how I'm going to like make my family one of the like, okay, make my father one of the best men on the earth.
Awesome. Awesome. What's your name? Arihan. Give my hand. So I don't know you.
Thanks.
Yeah. One second. I just would like to do a quick recap on. You see this word enlightenment that you used. You know, it comes from. So what does the word enlightenment mean to you? Girls. No, it definitely is not close-up teeth. I asked her what enlightenment means. He said, What does the word enlightenment mean to you? What? Realization. Okay, good word. What does realize mean? I'm trying to drill down to something, okay? I'm not going to tell you what, but I want to get it like we said. Like it came from each and every one of you. Time is respect, time is honor, time is seriousness, time is first impression, time is this, time is that. It came from you. I didn't say it. Alright? Similarly, what is realization? Awareness. That's the first thing I said. Time awareness. Okay, what is realization?
So knowing something which you don't know.
Hold it. Knowing something. Okay? Knowing something. What is that? Drill down, go deeper. Don't operate from a surface level. Don't just shoot out the first thing that comes in your head. This is what Bobby wants to hear, and then don't throw it out. Operate at a deeper level. Think. You've got the capacity. And the reason why what I'm trying to get at is this enlightenment didn't come because I came here today. No. It is because you know it. You know it. Each and every one of you know how important time is. The question that I'm asking you as I leave here today is, how many of you practice it? It's not about teaching you time management. Please understand that. That's stupidity. I can't come and tell you that, hey, you know what, you know how I learned time? Somebody said, if you know 5 tables, you can know time. Then I said, then I have another problem. I have learned 5 tables. No? So, the point I'm trying to make is that each and every one of you here, as individuals, I'm not differentiating between teachers and students, as human beings, as people, each and every one of you, every single one of you know. And that knowing is something which is what you come into this earth with. It's an intelligence beyond your comprehension. Don't take yourself lightly. Each and every one of you, like I said, 2,650 grams of Maggi noodles in the head. Have you seen the human brain? Have you seen the human brain? Picture looks like Maggi noodles on your plate. You like Maggi noodles? Good.
Sir, but it can't be eaten.
Who said? You vegetarian? That's why. Correct, sir? Humaya, sir? We know that the brain is fantastic on. Anyway, we put an end to that conversation. So the point I'm trying to make is that you all know. The question is, do you do? Realization is very, very deep. You do realize, like you said, you know. Enlightenment is only realization of what you already know. Okay? It's just that you already know it. It's just that I awakened a little bit of it. I'm only a catalyst. I'm not the knowledge provider, or I'm not the guy who taught you time management. You know it. I awakened you to it. Anybody else? Another 7.5 minutes. Yes, come here. This is one of my little men. Now I have little women also. You. It's working.
didn't think I would be, because I'm a horrible time practitioner, and I basically am not so good at getting up in the morning. My mom has to scream at me sometimes. At the starting, she actually, tells me slowly to get up, then she screams at me. So due to fear, I wake up. If it not for my mom, I would be sleeping for eternity. So, even when my friends come to my home to play or to learn or to study or whatever, they don't study with me that much. They think that I study a little bit, I just revise or just look at the face of the book and just go to bed or just see the computer. Sometimes it happens, and recently 2 of my friends had come over to my place and we actually had a sleepover. They both were kind of nerds, so they both woke up at 7:30 and they're wondering why I'm still not up. And I woke up at around 9:30 to 10, and they were like, and I was like shocked to see them already, already on the way to their own homes. So that's it. Thank you.
What did you come talk about? Sleepovers in your house? You want to talk about? What are you going to do? You going to invite me to a sleepover? No. Why not? What are you going to do?
When I go home, I
eat. Uta.
I don't know what I do, but I know one thing for sure. I'm going to try and be better at keeping time, and I'll draw a timetable for myself and follow it, especially during bedtime.
Good. Anybody else? Before we wrap up today? Yes, sir. Dada, isn't it?
Well, I'm horrible at keeping promises.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. So don't make promises. You end up your speech. I ask people to come here to make promises, and he opens his speech by saying, I'm horrible at keeping. So you can't hold him responsible.
So, like, if I say I'm going to do something, the first day I'm like, bring it on, I'm going to do this. Then overnight, when I wake up the next day, I'm like, I don't want to do it. Like, I lose all my determination. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get your phone number. And I'm going to call you once in a while, and I'm going to get inspiration from you. So that's what I'm going to do, and I really want your number. So that's, I also advise all my friends to get this number. And call it.
I'll give you my number in a minute.
Thank you.
You're good, right?
Okay, so thanks for coming, and I want you to come here again, please.
What did I? Yeah, give him a hand. All I asked you guys, I didn't ask for trouble, okay? All I asked you guys was just to promise what you will do. I didn't ask for people to come and bother me by saying that I called me. I'll be sleeping in the middle of that, so I want to ask you a question. Can I refuse you? See the trouble the fellows put me in. Thank you so much. If any of you want to contact me or anything, here's your headmistress. I promised to Savitra and to Ningla that at any point of time, anytime, if you think that you want me to work with you guys, small groups, large groups, 3 people, 2 people, even one of you, okay, I'll be more than happy to come here and work with you. There's absolutely no problem. So you just need to, I don't know how you communicate with your HM. Please send her a message and I'll be here. Alright? I'll be the genie in the bottle. Your wish is my command. Anybody else? Apurva, you want to come and say something? Give her a hand before.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm new admission here. In my old school, I used to come here for everything. Sports day, school day, everything. So my teachers and my friends used to tell me anything 1 hour before it. So I was like, I'm very sleepy girl.
For a new girl to admit that she sleeps in class and all that, that's awesome. Come on, guys, you can do better than that. One of the happiest things about being here today, I mean, I'm getting to know a lot about you slowly, about each and every one of you, the way you talk and the way you behave, is this thing that's coming out from not just one person, two persons, three persons. It seems to be a kind of a culture here. This great honesty, to be able to speak the truth about yourself. Never ever lose it. Ever. Alright? Hello? Hello? Tennis player, I said something, did you hear? What I said? Go and play some more tennis. Okay, so one last person. Anybody else who wants to come? Yes sir, come. Give the youngest person in the room a big hand.
Thank you very much. Humans, sir, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So just we were discussing about realization. So it's nothing but knowing. So just a very fine definition that inspires me a lot every day. So God has given to realize to us, to know what is right, what is wrong. So God has given to realize what? To realize. What to realize? The real life. So this is what realization is, according to me. And just somebody say I can't do something, just I want advice to you people in my own way. You are very well, I will say I am sharing it, just do right. बात ही बात में विश्वास बदल जाता है, बात ही बात में विश्वास बदल जाता है, रात ही रात में इतिहास बदल जाता है. So don't give.
That's fantastic. You got that on camera? Sir, 3 copies available, sir, after this. Of the Shairi. It's fantastic. I didn't know that you were interested in Shairi.
He writes very well.
Poetry.
Yes.
Poetry. Very good, very good. Okay, anybody else want to cap this? My mom's waiting, I gotta go home.
Mom's here.
Hey, see? This is ultimate ending, okay? This is called timing. She walked in at the right time. She came in at the right time, she walked out, she came in at the right time, okay? So give it to me.
Come because it's time. I came because you have not had your lunch. I was worried. Now I'm your mom. Now please come. You have your lunch.
What did I tell you? Never make mom call. Yeah. Anybody else want to wrap this up quickly? Over to you. Yeah.
Come. Stand up when you get an opportunity.
All-rounder. 2 all-rounders. In case Kikri is an all-rounder. So I said I also. And then he's looking like me also. All-rounder. Photograph. 2 all-rounders from Kautilya. He is jealous. He's not an all-rounder. The guy was taking me. What do you want to say?
I just want to say, Bobby sir made our day today.
That's a lie.
No, you really did.
I bet he goes home and tells his mother, looks at shows, opens the tiffin box and says, Mom, you made my day. See, tiffin box is
It was really interesting, and I never felt that it was really boring or something like that.
Liar.
No. That's it?
That's it? Thanks very much. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to admit something.
What?
Like he told that you have made his day, so we didn't admit that.
Thank you, sir. I learned from you. Accept gracefully. That's what he's saying. I shall accept. I'm very, very touched, and thank you for all your patience, and thank you for the time that you've given me. And like I said, if you guys feel that there's anything that I can contribute, here are 2 Kautilya pillars who are standing inside this room. You counted 6. I actually said that's wrong. This is the 7th one. This is the 8th one. Okay, your teachers and all of that. Don't take it lightly. if ever you think that there's something that you can learn from me or something like that, feel free, contact them, and I shall be at your disposal. Alright? Last person, one last person, we are bang on time. My watch is 5 minutes past. Everybody look at their watch. Yeah, ma'am. They want you. Come.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to head down, tail off it. I don't know, words fail to express my feelings. And let me tell you very frankly, when I listen to you, I get so motivated, just like these youngsters, and the feeling in my heart is so deep that I can express beautifully.
You want some water? You want some water?
No, in writing. Yes, it's very true. So when she said, please call him, and I said, yes, we shall speak about this. But then as you said, honest confessions, wonderful they were. I was so glad my youngsters, my adolescents were able to do so well. Hats off to you children, keep it up. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the way you came and said, oh, my mother wakes me up. Otherwise I will speak for anything. It was beautiful that you could come and admit this fact. But then we learn a lesson. Let's all promise him wholeheartedly that we keep up what he has taught us, and that is time. Will you do it? Yes. We shall at least try our level best. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. And please, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll just take about 2 minutes of your time. I know Bobby is hungry, he's not had his lunch. But you must all appreciate that he has been staying without lunch so long because of his passion to talk to youngsters. Children, you're all in school today. When I recall my school days, I swear I don't remember the math, science, social science or English that I learned in school. All that I remember, I can better tell you, is only the motivating speeches of some guests who came into my school, or sometimes the counseling that my teachers gave me. My life changed for good with one such session conducted by a professor from Ramakrishna B.Ed College. Ramakrishna Ashram has a B.Ed college. I was in 8th standard when he came in. He spoke to all of us, the whole school was there. He spoke and he left. The only good thing I did that day was, I followed his instruction and he said, when you are very motivated, capture those moments and keep them forever. Generally today the curve is like that, all of you are high here. After some time it starts to dip down. If it should not dip down, you'll have to capture these moments. That's why we keep taking photographs, to remember those moments. All that I did was, I penned down what I felt that day. To this day I have my diary where I have written that. Whenever I feel low, all that I do is just open the diary and read those words that the professor had told me those days. Believe me, one word is enough to change your life. And that one person, lazy, capture those because that will be your treasure forever. Will you do that? I would like you people to capture more and more of such things and create a lovely treasure for yourselves. Shall we all thank Mr. Bobby once again with a big round of applause? We'll break for lunch now, and Bobby is very much a part of Kautilya, so now you can feel free to say, Ma'am, do you want to call Mr. Bobby Vidyalaya? Okay? So when you come with the next demand, Mr. Bobby will be here. Okay? Bye children, have a great day.